বুঝা যায় পর্দা না এটা বুঝতে
গুড আফটারনুন। আমি প্রফেসর নিয়ামুল নাসের, প্রাণীবিদ্যা বিভাগের জিওলজি ডিপার্টমেন্টে আছি, মানে ঢাকা বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের প্রাণীবিদ্যা বিভাগে আছি। আপনাদের সবাইকে আমরা বিকালের এই কার্যক্রমে স্বাগতম জানাচ্ছি। আমাদের সাথে সৌমেন্দ্র স্যার আছেন, সৌমেন্দ্র কর্মকার স্যার আছেন, আর আরো আছেন আমাদের সাথে, আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমাদের সাথে মোট আরো 10 জনের মতো আরো আমাদের এই সেশনে জয়েন করেছেন, আর 9 জনের মতো। থ্যাংক ইউ। আমি প্রথমে একটু ধন্যবাদ দিচ্ছি আমাদের আব্দুল্লাহ নাইমকে। উনি খুব সুন্দরভাবে অনুষ্ঠানটা চালনা করছেন সে সকাল থেকে বিভিন্ন ধাপে। আর আমি আপনাদেরকেও সকলকে স্বাগতম জানাচ্ছি আমাদের এই বিকালের সেশনে। তো আমরা আমাদের সাথে কো চেয়ার হিসেবে আমার ধারণা আমাদের সাথে ডক্টর সৌমেন্দ্রনাথ স্যার, উনি কো চেয়ার হিসেবে থাকবেন। আর আপনি একটু কিছু বলতে চাইলে একটু বলতে পারেন।
তাকে আমাকে বলছেন?
জি স্যার, আপনি একটু বলেন কো চেয়ার হিসেবে।
আপনি কে? আপনার তো চেহারাই দেখি নাকি শাহাদাত না?
না, আমি নিয়ামুল নাসের।
নিয়ামুল নাসের, আচ্ছা। ভালো আছেন? থ্যাংক ইউ। গুড আফটারনুন।
গুড আফটারনুন।
আজকে আসলে আমি একটু জরুরি কাজে প্র্যাকটিক্যালি অন্য জায়গায় চলে এসেছি, সে ল্যাপটপই নিয়ে এসেছি, বুঝছেন? এই অবস্থায় অন্য জায়গায় বসেই এখন আপনাদের অনুষ্ঠানটা উপভোগ করব, আর সেই সাথে প্রেজেন্টেশনও দিব। আপনাদের প্রথমে আমি ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি, সেটা হলো যে এত বড় একটা অনুষ্ঠান 2 দিনে আপনারা শুরু করছেন। এই 2 দিনে শেষ করা আসলে কঠিন ব্যাপার। তারপরও বিভিন্ন প্যারালাল সেশনে যে আপনারা প্রেজেন্টেশনগুলি দেওয়া হবে, আমার মনে হয় যে এটা খুব দুর্বিহ কাজ ছিল। এবং কতক্ষণ আগে আমার মনে হয় ডক্টর প্রফেসর শহীদুল্লাহ সাহেবের কথা আমি শুনলাম, অ্যান্ড হি ওয়াজ অলসো ভেরি বিজি জিওগ্রাফির। উনি বোধহয় একটুখানি কথা বলছেন, কারণ আমি অনেকক্ষণ যাবৎ লাইনে ছিলাম আর কি। তো যাই হোক, আমরা আজকে এই অনুষ্ঠান যাতে সুন্দর হয় সেই দিকে আমরা চেষ্টা করব, এবং যতগুলি পেপার আসে সেগুলি আশা করি সবগুলি পেপার আপনার আমাদের উপভোগ্য হবে এবং পরবর্তীতে আমাদের কাজে লাগবে বলে আমরা মনে করি। পরিবেশ এবং জলবায়ু সম্পর্কিত যত কিছু আছে সব ব্যাপারে এটা লাগবে, এই বলে আমি শেষ করছি। আপনারা শুরু করেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। তা আমি এখন আহ্বান করব যে আমাদের প্রথম আপনাদের মধ্যে প্রথম যিনি আছেন আব্দুল্লাহ নোমান, প্রথম কাকে? আমার কাছে লিস্টটা আপডেটেড নাই। না, ওই লিস্ট
স্যার আমার মিউট ছিল, সরি। আমি একটু নামটা বলি তাহলে। আমার এখানে যে লিস্টটা আছে, যে প্রথম হচ্ছে নাসরিন নাহার এন্ড মোহন কুমার মন্ডল। আপনারা কি আছেন? প্রথম পার্টিসিপেন্ট। টাইটেল ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ অ্যাডাপ্টেশন থ্রু সোশিও কালচার ট্রান্সফরমেশন।
হ্যাঁ, তারপরে
ওই প্রোগ্রামটা একটুখানি স্ক্রিনে শেয়ার করে দিলে ভালো হবে, অথবা চ্যাট বক্সে দিয়ে দেন, তাহলে
ওকে স্যার, আমি চ্যাট বক্সে দিয়ে দিচ্ছি। সেকেন্ড প্রেজেন্টার হচ্ছে আমাদের ফাহিমা সালাম এন্ড ফারজানা সালাম। আপনি কি আছেন?
প্লিজ।
জি, আমরা আছি।
জি বলেন প্লিজ, আপনারা শুরু করেন। সময় 8 মিনিট, আর 2 মিনিট আমরা ডিসকাশন করব। থ্যাংক ইউ। আমরা সবাই মিট করে রাখি।
জি ফাহিমা সালাম, আপনি স্টার্ট করেন। আমাদের ফার্স্ট প্রেজেন্টার মেবি নেই, সো আমরা সেকেন্ড প্রেজেন্টার চলে যাচ্ছি।
আচ্ছা, আমি একটু দূরে আছি। ফারজানা সাল্লামকে একটু আনমিউট করতে হবে, যিনি নিয়ন্ত্রণ করছেন, কাইন্ডলি একটু করবেন। আমার সাথে যে আমার কো অথর আছেন ওনাকে একটু আনমিউট করে দিতে হবে।
আচ্ছা, ওনাকে
উনি
unmute
নিজে
করে
অ্যাডমিট
দেন।
করতে পারবেন, উনি নিজে ওনাকে আমি খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না আমার এখানে।
ফারজানা সালাম
উনি নিজে এখান থেকে আনমিউট করতে পারবেন।
হ্যাঁ, আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার, আমি আনমিউট করতে পারছি।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
প্লিজ শুরু করেন।
Thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you for having me. At first, I would like to thank our honorable chair, Dr. Naimul Nasser, and also co-chair to give a chance to present my presentation. Myself, Farzana Salam. Sorry, I have not shared my screen. Just give a second. Have you seen my screen?
Yes. So
Thank you.
I
Yes.
think you can
Thank
go
you.
to the presentation mode.
Thank you. Myself, Farzana Salam, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, Bangladesh University. And also I am a student of MSDM 17 batch, University of Dhaka. Today, our presenting topics is understanding of socio-economic and demographic features, climate change impact on vulnerable groups, a case study on Shornkhola Bagherhat. Before start my presentation, I want to introduce a vulnerable person, Halima. She is 28 years old in 2007. Her family member is 7, 3 kids, in-laws, and also spouse. On 15th November 2007, Cyclone Cedar associated with a wind speed along the southwest coast of Bangladesh that claimed the lives and also caused massive damage to homes, croplands, and vegetation. At time of Cedar, she along Cyclone Center with her family members and left her house and stayed there for 3 months. She lost everything like house, livelihood, cattle. She tried hard to cope up. At last, after 5 months of Cedar, she left her house to nearby town and then Dhaka city. She and her children, in-laws become more vulnerable due to Cedar. She never back to her previous condition. Here, have a look on our contents. Climate change, Climate change is perhaps most widely discussed issue among the recent global environment change. And researcher studies are showing that it links to natural disasters that are affecting of social and economic well-being of population. Here we are presenting how Cedar attracted to Bangladesh. On 15th November 2007, it associated with a strong wind speed that was 223 kilometers per hour. And it came from the southwest coast of Bangladesh. And for that case, 3,363 people and also massive damage to homes, crops, lands, and vegetation. The impact of climate change will be felt by different parts of the world. Bangladesh is considered one of the countries most at risk to the effects at climate change, and its coastal area is most vulnerable. As a result, the unfavorable health condition and both the physical and mental stress, disruption of socio-economic condition of the affected people makes them more vulnerable to various emerging disasters and other problems. They're especially vulnerable because of the gender inequalities in the socio-economic and demographic institution. And, almost 1/4 of the total population of our country live in the coastal area of Bangladesh, where majority population are somehow affected directly or indirectly by coastal flood, tidal surge, river bank erosion, salinity, tropical cyclone, etc. With the raise of sea level up to 1 meter only, Bangladesh could lose up to 15% of its land area under the seawater, and around 3 million people living in coastal area of Bangladesh could become refugees because of the climate change. Agriculture, industry, infrastructure like school, hospital, roads, bridge, culverts, etc., livelihoods, main resource, forestry, biodiversity, human health, and other utility services will be suffer severely because of these types of natural disaster. Here we're presenting our vulnerable groups, especially they're special because of the inequalities. Men can able to communicate with each other in the public space, but information did not reach most of the women timely. So here is our vulnerable groups. They are the part of the vulnerable groups: women, children, elder people, disabled people. And not only the cyclone, but also these types of disaster also introduced in Bangladesh, like salinity intrusions, storm surge, then water logging, drought, river bank erosion. So now the impact of climate change on vulnerable groups. That affected by socio-economic scale, that affected by agriculture, that affected by water security, that affected by the overall well-being. Impact of the climate change on vulnerable groups that affected by socio-economic scale is discussing here. According to the environmental scientist, the past 10 years on more significant change has been observed in the surrounding environmental condition during the weather and climate of coastal area. Natural disasters like cyclone, storm surge, and flood are frequently have increased in before. People are struggling go to back their previous quality of life corridor of Cedar and Isla. Impact of climate change on vulnerable groups that affected by agriculture. The economy of Bangladesh is based on agriculture mainly, with 2/3 population engaged on agriculture activities. Although the country is trying to move towards industrialization slowly during the last 1.5 decades almost. So the overall impact of climate change on agriculture production in Bangladesh would be widespread and devastating for the country's economy. The salinity intrusions is the coastal area is creating a serious implication for the coastal land and were traditionally used for the rice production. The next slide is on the affected by water security. Salinity of the coastal area has become severe and saline water mixed with the cultivated land. So the cultivated land reduced its productivity. Cattle also did not get their energy from their food. Last one, impact of climate change on vulnerable groups that affected by the overall well-being. Bangladesh has got a wide diversity of ecosystem, including mangrove forests that, at the extreme south of the country. The Sundarbans, a World Heritage, is the largest mangrove forest in the world, comprising 57,700 hectares of land area along the Bay of Bengal. A total of 425 species have been identified there. The most significant is the famous Royal Bengal tiger. Therefore, climate change impact will have negative effects on the ecosystem of the forest resource in Bangladesh, while the Sundarban is likely to suffer the most. So this is our concluding point. The negative impact of climate change are threatening the flood security, livelihoods, and existence of millions of people in Bangladesh, especially women, children, and elderly people with disability. Impacts of climate change, such as drought, floods, extreme weather events like cyclone, and food and water security, affects women and men different while making the poorest more vulnerable. They are especially vulnerable because of the gender inequalities in the socioeconomic and demographic institutions. During the 1991 cyclone and storm surge in Bangladesh, the death rate in case of women, children, and elderly people was almost five times higher than the men. Thanks to all. My presentation is finished.
ধন্যবাদ ফারজানাকে। আমরা আপনার প্রেজেন্টেশনটা চমৎকার প্রেজেন্টেশন দেওয়ার জন্য, এবং ইট ইজ ভেরি রেলিভেন্ট টু বাংলাদেশি সিনারিও। আমাদের মাঝে দেখতে পাচ্ছি ফারাদ স্যারও আসছেন। ফারাদ স্যারকে সালাম। স্যার ভালো আছেন? উনিও আমাদের এখানে বেশ অ্যাক্টিভলি বিভিন্ন পরিবেশ জাতীয় কাজ করেন। যাই হোক, আমি আমাদের আব্দুল্লাহ নাইম, আপনি একটু বলেন আমাদের পরবর্তী
আমরা কোশ্চেন আনসারে চলে যাব কিনা এটাতে?
কোশ্চেন আনসার, হ্যাঁ, আমরা একটু 1 মিনিট বা 2 মিনিট একটু কোশ্চেন আনসার করতে পারি।
তাহলে আপনি স্যার একটু রিকোয়েস্ট করেন, যদি কারো কোশ্চেন থাকে চ্যাট
আর
বক্সে
কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকলে
আনমিউট করে কোশ্চেন করতে পারেন।
বলেন।
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
I'm
Please.
Dr. Karmakar, former director of Bangladesh Meteorological Department, now chairman of NOAA. Actually, the CDOT, that was the last cyclone handled by me. So I must thank Farjana Islam for presenting the impact of Cyclone Cedar and other cyclones also. My question is that, did you study the number of immigrants due to this cyclone, especially Cedar? How many persons were displaced from the coastal area of Bangladesh, that is especially near Patharghata or some other places? Can you study this thing?
Thank you, sir. I have done my work on secondary data. So I have no more idea about your question actually.
মানে আমার কথা হচ্ছে, আপনি তো একটা মহিলার কথা বললেন, সে ঢাকাতে চলে এসেছে।
Yes, sir. জি,
তো
sir.
এরকম ভাবে কতজন ওই এরিয়া থেকে এসেছে, এরকম কোনো কি স্টাডি করেছেন আপনি?
No, sir. No, sir.
আচ্ছা,
আমি অনলি সেকেন্ডারি ডেটা নিয়ে কাজ করেছি স্যার, এর জন্য আমি আসলে অন দি স্পটে যে কাজ করি নাই।
আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা, থ্যাংক ইউ।
জি স্যার।
আর কারো কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকলে বলতে পারেন, বা হচ্ছে আমরা পরে প্রেজেন্টারে চলে যাব আর কি। Okay, thank you. Ma'am, could you please stop your share?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. So our next presenter, Shamrendra Kormakar sir and Mohan Kumar Dash. Study on the human discomfort index and in its trend in Bangladesh.
I think we have Michael with us. So I would like to welcome Michael. And would you please share this presentation in English? Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Do you see my?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
Paper?
just go to the presentation mode. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman, for giving me the chance to present my paper, the study on the human discomfort index and its trend in Bangladesh. Practically, this is a very good study, and it was a part of the project of MOST, Minister of Science and Technology, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, and I must thank our MOST for giving us the chance to study this subject. So,
Sir, sir, go to the presentation mode.
yeah, I am trying to see the presentation mode, but I don't see the cup for presentation. I don't see this one. Can you help me?
Sir, please go to the your presentation mode from.
But I don't
The
see the
button here.
presentation mode.
Okay,
do not-
you just see the 76% in the bottom corner from the right side. 76%. See here.
76%.
Again, 76% একটা অপশন আছে 76 ওটার পাশে কাপের মতো যেটা ওটাতে ক্লিক করেন or control F5 from your keyboard.
Control F5.
No, only F5, only F5.
F5.
It might work. Okay, no.
No, I don't see.
76% যেটা আপনি গিয়েছিলেন একদম কর্নারে, ডানে কর্নারে আপনার।
আচ্ছা স্যার, আমার মনে হয় কন্টিনিউ করেন। It's okay.
I'm sorry, but I don't see it. Before I did it, but today I don't find it.
Sir, no problem.
No problem.
No, sir, go ahead, please.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, no, it is very difficult if I cannot go to the presentation mode.
স্যার আপনি একদম নিচে দেখেন, একদম নিচে হাতের ডানে।
Now it should be here, but I don't.
76% এর পাশে দেখেন একটা কাপের মতো একটা চিহ্ন আছে 76 এর পাশে। আমি এখানে জি এই যে একটু আগে গিয়েছিলেন আপনি এখানে 76 যেটা লেখা আছে ওটার বামে
76 written, I don't find any 76.
আপনার ডানে হবে একদম নিচে কর্নারে।
স্যার দেখেন,
হ্যাঁ ওইখানে গিয়েছেন, আমি আপনার কার্সর আছে ওইখানে, এটা একটু নিচে একটু পাশে দেখেন।
No, I don't see.
একটা প্লাস এবং মাইনাস চিহ্ন দেখতে পাচ্ছেন আপনি, প্লাস এবং মাইনাস।
Plus, you know, I have seen this one.
মাইনাস মাইনাসের পাশে 90% দেখেন, 32% হইছে এখন।
But minus is, you know,
No, you
only,
don't need to press
shaded
on
by
minus.
some control, remote control, something like that. It is not seen. Okay. Yes, I have seen.
Yes, go to this.
Now it is okay.
Still out.
I think okay.
Yeah, it's okay now.
এটাই ঠিক আছে স্যার।
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm for disturbance. So actually, you know, Bangladesh is located in the tropical monsoon region, and its climate is characterized by high temperature, relative humidity, and there are fairly marked seasonal variations. It is the playground of almost all types of weather because of its geographical situation, having the moisture reservoir like the Bay of Bengal in the south, and the Himalayas in the north with a large continental areas in the east and west. The different types of weather which occur in the country are heat waves, heat stress, drought, cold waves, dense fog, the nor'westers, tornadoes, and floods, etc. Tropical cyclone, etc. These weather phenomena affect human being greatly. Of these, heat stress has a profound effect on human being, reducing the working capacity and raising the health problem. In our country, the farmers become exhausted in the field due to heat stress. During the summer months, especially March to October, this heat stress is mainly due to the combined effect of higher temperature and relative humidity, known as the temperature humidity index. The data and the methodology, the data actually I use the daily dry bulb temperature and relative humidity for a period of 36 years during the period 1981 to 2016 at 32 stations for the months of January through December. That data have been collected from Bangladesh Meteorological Department, and we see the stations in the figure also. So these are the 32 stations. The temperature humidity index for human being has been calculated using the monthly mean dry bulb temperature and relative humidity following the formula of forms, that is, and it is now designated in this study as HDI, that is human discomfort index, which is equal to T minus 0.55 into 1 minus 0.01 into RH and into T minus 14.5, where T is the mean monthly temperature in degrees Celsius and RH is mean monthly relative humidity of air in percentage. And the conditions of discomfort is given in this table. You see if the value of DI or HDI is less than 21 or 21, there is no discomfort. And if the value is in the range of 21 to 24, I think under 50% of the population feels discomfort, and over 50% population feels discomfort when the value is 25 to 27. And most people suffer discomfort when it is 28 to 29, and everyone feels severe stress when the value becomes 30 to 32, and state of medical emergency is declared when 32 or greater than 32 the index. The results and discussion, this is the monthly variation of monthly mean humidity index or human discomfort index during this period. So we see that June, July, August, actually during this period, I think the HDI or humidity index remains high, very high, and highest is in June, that is 26 to about 28 or more than 28 degrees Celsius. And during this people, most of the people suffer discomfort. And the values are less than 1 is comfortable, and that is in January, December, and February. These months, I think, are very comfortable months in our country. And if we see the amplitude, monthly and annual HDI, that is amplitude means the difference between the maximum and minimum. I think the amplitude is very high in January, and then it decreases during the monsoon period, and again it becomes higher, and the value becomes about 1 in September, and annual is 1.5. This is the monthly variation of mean human discomfort index, and we see that it is very less in January, and then it starts increasing and becomes maximum during the monsoon period. And this is Dhaka station and Borishal station. I have seen only few diagrams here, Rajshahi and Rangpur. and monthly variation of country average SDA and seasonal SDA over Bangladesh. This is the monthly average, country average. So country average value becomes about 27.4 in the month of also, and this is the seasonal conditions. I think minimum is in the winter season 19.25, and the trends in the seasonal and annual mean monthly human discomfort index during this period. In the pre-monsoon season, HDI has increasing trends at about 28 stations out of 32. And in the monsoon season, I think all the stations have increasing states, and the trends are actually statistically significant. And in post-monsoon season, HDA has increasing trends at 22 stations out of 32 stations, that is 68.75 stations, and decreasing in 11 stations. In the winter season, it has decreasing trends at 19 stations and increasing at 11 stations, and no trend at 3 stations. So, during the winter season, we have in many places decreasing trend of the human discomfort index. The decreasing rates in the winter season are statistically significant, 95 to 99% significance. The increasing rates are significant at Chittagong, Chattur, and Khulna only, up to 95% level of significance. In the case of annual mean HDI, it has also increasing rates at about 24 stations and decreasing at 9 stations. So the rates are mostly significant at a 99% level, and especially at some significance are 95 at Mamsing, Kutubiya, Teknaf, Srimangal, Boris, Bhola station. And these are some of the graphical representations. So if you see the R-square values, I think these are very significant. This is Mamsing, it is decreasing. Mamsing is decreasing very significantly, and this is mainly because of the trend, decreasing trend in temperature, because the temperature and humidity index is directly proportional, and the correlation is about 9.951. So because of the decreasing trend in temperature and Mamsing, I think HDI is also decreasing there significantly. And this is a special distribution of the trends in the seasonal and annual mean. This is pre-monsoon season, maximum is about 0.028 here at Rajshahi region, and Rajshahi region in monsoon season also, the value is about 0.020 degrees Celsius per year. And this is post-monsoon season, the trend is also significant, higher to about 0.015 degrees Celsius or 6 here in Rajshahi region. And winter season, I think it has a decreasing trend up to 0.46 at Simangol region. And if we look at the annually we see that in the Rajshahi region and also Sylhet or Simangol region, it has values up to 0.012 degrees Celsius per year. So conclusion, the human discomfort index indicates that under 50% of the population of Bangladesh starts feeling discomfort in March, whereas about 50% of the population of Bangladesh feel discomfort from April to October. HDI values are maximum in the monsoon season mainly due to the higher mean temperature and humidity, relative humidity, while most of the people suffer discomfort. People do not feel any discomfort in the winter season and in the month of November. HDI has increasing trends in the pre-monsoon, monsoon, and post-monsoon seasons at most places over Bangladesh, and the increasing rates are statistically significant, whereas in the winter season, human discomfort index has decreasing trend at many places. Annual HDI has also increasing trends in many places over the country with statistical significance of the increasing rate. HDI has increasing trends with pre-monsoon, monsoon, and post-monsoon seasons all over Bangladesh except Madaripur, where it has decreasing trend. The maximum increasing rates in seasonal HDI are 0.028 degrees Celsius per year, 0.020 degrees Celsius per year, and 0.016 degrees Celsius per year over Rajshahi region in the pre-monsoon, monsoon, and post-monsoon season, respectively. In the winter season, negative trends are found over most of the places, with maximum negative values of HDI at Madaripur, Mymensingh, and Chittagong Hilltop. The annual trend of HDI is negative over Srimangal, Madaripur, Mymensingh, and Chittagong Hilltop, and the trends are positive elsewhere over the country, with maximum increasing rate of 0.012 degrees Celsius per year over northeastern part of Bangladesh. The annual human discomfort index has increasing trends at 7 divisions and decreasing trend at Mymensingh. The increasing rates in annual HDI are 0.004, 0.016, 0.015, minus, I think there is also negative. This is 0.013, 0.019 plus, and 0.021. These are at Dhaka, Rajshahi, Rangpur, Sylhet, Chittagong, Khulna, and Borishal divisions. I think there may be some mistake in the values of third, fourth value, maybe. The annual decreasing rate of HD at Mymensingh is 0.013. This is, I think, Mymensingh value. The decreasing trend in SDI at Mymensingh may be due to the significant decrease in mean temperature because it has strong correlation with human discomfort index. Thank you very much. This is up to my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shamarendra Sarke, because it's a very interesting paper. I would like to open the floor for question. Please ask one question. Please give your name first and then ask a question to Shamarendra sir.
Excuse me, at the chat box, I have seen that we have to give 2 recommendations for each paper. That I have seen in the chat box. So in my paper, I think my recommendation is that the validation of the results should be the prime data also, and that could not be done because of the pandemic situation. So in future, if anybody wants to work on this, I think it can be done primary data. The validation can be done through validation of primary data. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shamarendra sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, go ahead.
This is yes. This is Monmothanath Sarkar.
Yeah.
Can you please make a correlation with the water temperature of that region along with the air temperature? Any work has been done?
Air temperature is taken. This ambient daily temperature is means the air temperature, but water temperature that is not taken by any organization. Only the sea surface temperature we can find the correlation, but that is over the ocean or Bay of Bengal. But I think in over the land area, I think water temperature is not taken by anybody. But you can do some correlation with other temperatures, say dry bulb temperature. I have done it. Then dew point temperature, wet bulb temperature. Then that we can do later on also. Thank you.
Why I am asking the question, sir, as because
the
aquaculture sector is suffering much more in the winter season. And anybody have done any correlation between the air temperature and water temperature? So we can predict, we can make a prediction over about the farmer.
That is a very good, I think, suggestion. But for doing this type of work, we need to have some data over the pond area, especially in the southern side, because the values are normally higher, though it is in Rajshahi region, but overall it is in the southern part. I think because of the humidity and also temperature, it is higher. But this type of temperature, water temperature, should be measured first, at least for some days, either in different seasons. Then it can be validated. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. May I request all the academicians and all the researchers, so please do something for this, as because the aquaculture sector is totally ignored with the temperature and humidity in the by the farmers. So nobody have any record of that. So I should request the academicians to conduct such research with the relation between air temperature and the water temperature. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Mothami, I would add that we have data for the water, but we never relate this thing with the meteorological data. So that could be maybe another important issue, or joining together, it could be better.
If you supply that data, then we can have at least for few days or few months, then we can relate it with the meteorological data and have a combined paper also. Okay, no problem.
I think that we are having our next lecture. I think we can move on to forward with the next topics. Can you help me, Naim?
Yes, sir. So our next presenter is Irene Akhtar. The title is Climate Change, Disaster and Gender Vulnerability in Bangladesh. Are you present here? Irene Akhtar, are you present here?
Sir, আপনি বেরিয়ে যান।
Okay.
বের হওয়ার
I think
পর বের হওয়ার
is
পর
not available here.
করে দেন,
So,
ক্যান্সেল করে দেন।
sir, just stop. আপনি এখান থেকে stop sharing করে দেন, stop sharing. উপরের দিকে বা নিচের দিকে দেখেন stop sharing. আমি এখান থেকে পারি কিনা দেখি। Okay.
Oh, stop sharing. Okay.
Done.
Thank you.
So Irene Akhtar, I think she's not present here. So our next presenter, Khan SI, assessing the climate change adaptation action plan at macro and micro levels in Bangladesh. আপনি কি আছেন? আমাদের এখানে খান এসআই লেখা আছে, খান এসআই।
এসআই খান স্যার।
জি, এসআই।
আপনি কি আছেন? Can you go next one, please?
Okay. Next one is Sutrodhar RK et al.
Can you please check the next one?
We don't have any other. তার আমাদের আর কোনো পার্টিসিপেন্ট নাই এখানে।
তাহলে আমি ইয়ে করব, আমি কালকে একটু আমার পাসপোর্টের ইয়ে দিছি।
Only two participants are
পাসপোর্টের আমার তো পাসপোর্টের ম্যাটটা শেষ হয়ে গেছে। তো আপনি পাসপোর্টে
মিউট করেন তো প্লিজ। আমাদের মিউট করে দেন।
We have 6 presenter in the list, but 2 presenters.
Okay, so is there anything we can discuss?
কেউ যদি থাকেন হয়তো শুনেন না, প্রেজেন্ট করার মতো কেউ থাকলে উনি একটু হ্যান্ড রেজ করতে পারেন বা একটু আনমিউট করে কথা বলতে পারেন।
Print পারছো? স্যার আচ্ছা এটা স্টেপল মেরে দাও। So now I think that we should conclude actually somehow. Yeah.
I think you can go for conclusion. Yes, sir. We can move forward for conclusion.
Okay. Thank you, Ram. I think that we have 6 presenters here, but anyway, we actually it's an online version. That's why we may have some problem to log in somehow. But I'm very happy that some of the very important issues that comes up in this session, and I also like to thank the presenters that presented very boldly some of the issue for Bangladesh. Climate change is evident, and the Bangladesh is now facing, is one of the country that will face the issue in coming years, and we are having more change in the meteorological events, as well as that I would say the climatic change, whereas we also have some disaster which comes up more and more than it was before. So the frequency is more. So I would say the both paper is 100% important for this session. So I again like to thank everyone to be with us in this. And thank you for having me with you. And I also like to thank the BAPA to let me in work with this with you, and they put me as a session chair for this session. Thank you again, and see you all soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, Naim.
Thank you, sir. So our next session is H. So it will start from 4:30. So that will be exhibition, competition, and cultural program. So I think everyone can join here. And after that, we had evening session at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. So bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining.